Good morning. Sacred Spiritual Healer here. If you'd like a personal reading, you can email me at sacredspiritualhealer@gmail.com. The energy this morning is amazing. I've been awake since 4 o'clock in the morning, got the whole house clean and ready to do these readings. Probably should have waited till I was a little calmer, so if I talk a lot during these readings. Also, in my own readings, the energy was so cool. Almost every card that I pulled for myself was a cat, black cat with that. So this was mine, just showing you. I have the black cat, which is, highly psychic, and the jaguar that's self-protective and just a beautiful cat. I have the puma, which is about strength and courage. The Ten of Wands in the Shaman deck is also a cat here in the upper part, about watching your surroundings, using your cat instincts for those around you in the way of protection. Then I also got the Maw in Aquarius with Libra Moon. Maw. And then, of course, this beautiful Singer of the Chalice, which is an amazing card. It's a 3. And smudging ceremony on the native spirits. Of course, we smudged the whole house today, cleaning and ready to roll. Gonna get a bunch done today. I can feel the energy. I hope everyone else is excited this morning as I am with this energy. It's just very enthusiastic, to say the least. A lot of cat energy. Just putting these over here so I can pull your deck out, which I've already shuffled and cleansed. On that one for myself, I got the Knight of Swords. And I'd gotten the Star, which I am an Aquarius. These are the cards I usually use for your morning. So let's get started. Spirit, give us the overall energy for the collective this morning. Overall energy for the collective. Clear off from the reading I did on myself. Feel good. Divine feminine energy, please. Divine feminine energy, please. Thank you. And divine masculine, thank you. Anything else? Beautiful, beautiful. And we have the turtle on the bottom, slow moving, but towards the light, out of the darkness. In its intuition, the shell is there for protecting oneself, but still crawling on their belly. And the bat like yesterday. Okay? So it's there. Bring over my little tripods. Okay, so for the divine feminine. Oh, good. Awesome. I love these cards. A great combination, right? They almost mirror one another as always. So divine feminine, you have the snake, the completion of the circle, the very enlightenment, right? A rebirth of your soul per se, especially higher ascension, transformation of self. Perhaps you've shed your old skin, how snakes shed their skin, but this one is in a circle, so it's the completion of the circle and ending with enlightenment as well. With you're very much in your emotions. You went in kind of like a hermit phase. You've gone through this new transformation, shedding of the old skin, shedding of the soul, like a rebirth, and now you're coming out into your enlightenment. You're just glowing with that angelic glow. Very grounded energy, though it is earth. All right? Great. Beautiful energy, feminines. In the masculines, you have this beautiful white owl here. Sometimes they come out to me as a spotted owl, but today I'm feeling that this one's that like a white snowy owl. but it is air energy. You're showing up as air energy, owl, of course. Very much around your spirit guides are very much around you. You can fly and see through the darkness. You see through the night. And the owl is very wise and with wisdom in how to maneuver through the dark. But even in the early morning or the dusk of the day light, they are very wise and keen perception. Their eyesight can see through the night. It can see miles away for their prey. Okay, Spirit, give us the overall message for the Divine Collective, please. The collective will do the body, mind, spirit. So the things that are coming at them first, we'll take 4 cards up for things coming at them today for their energy of the Divine Collective. Thank you, Spirit. Things coming at you is, again, perfect. It agrees with this one, right? An ending of a cycle. You're starting a new cycle regarding that connection with your twin soul. You're in your emotions, being grounded, both day or night. You're balancing the yin and the yang. You're balancing the light side to the dark side. Without darkness, we can have no light. Okay. 2 more for the what's coming after. Thank you. Let me grab that. I have 2 of the 4. Okay, so this and this. And I'm going to still take this, even though I only wanted 4. Spirit will always give you more than you ask for, right? So, Spirit, give us the, what's in their mind, what's in their thought space, what are they overanalyzing, what are they thinking about, what's in their mind space for the collective, please, regarding their connection. That was supposed to come out. Thank you. Okay, and again, 5 cards, huh? Okay, and we will get 5 then as well for the heart space. What's in the heart space, please, Spirit, for today regarding the connection? What's in the heart space? What's in the heart space, please? Thank you. Okay. Set them as well over here. Let me flip this back up. Hold for the Divine Masculine, please. Just get a sip of my tea. All right. Alright, so collective, as we said, this is an ending of the cycle and the start of a new, right? So I pretty much already explained that one. So we're going to leave that with what we already gave you for the information. And next in the list would be the 9 of Swords card. Feeling almost a fretting, or not a worry, but like just thinking, overthinking, overanalyzing. They are listening to their higher self. They're listening to the Divine Spirit. They hear and they realize their spirit guides are with them, but they're at that lower moment of a lower vibration where they're just not concentrating on those. They're covering their eyes. They don't want to see the things that they've had to surrender the things that have no longer served them. They're putting their swords down, almost not reluctantly, but fretting about it, having maybe second thoughts about letting these things go, letting options go, right? But yet concentrating on the flame, the connection. And again, in the physical, is the things that are coming at you, is that Eight of Cups being spilt or releasing, right? They're releasing the Nine of Swords as well. They've released these things that no longer serve them, and here they're fretting about it a little bit, over worrying about it, overthinking about it. But here it is here, and they are dressed in black, like they are still in this kind of energy, but realizing that they do still have that divine cup, the one Spirit gave them, the only one that matters. Perhaps they just have not been awakened yet, or realizing it in this lower energy that they're in. They need to come up out of the shadow energy. I see the moon here, so they need to rise up their vibration to come out of the shadow energy, not focus on those spilt cups, and focus on the divine cup that Spirit led them to. End of the three-party situations, or attempting to, not paying them any attention, at least, even though they may be at their side, in their home, in their work environment, or in their surroundings, in communication perhaps, but they are ignoring them physically. They're nurturing themselves, believing in the science behind this journey, listening to their higher self, their connection with their inner child, to the inner child of the divine counterpart, being playful in their emotions. While they may not be sharing their emotions, they are aware of them. Also coming at you is the magician, which is the manifestations, right? Perhaps these are energies that someone recently has gotten that aha moment, understanding the science, keeping it close at heart, and thinking, I want to manifest more. They recently had a tower moment here that would have knocked their foundation to make them receive that aha moment, to receive more enlightenment, to realize they have all the tools within them to manifest, to move forward, shedding that old skin, again ending in rebirth is the shedding of the skin, and same with that energy. So you have three cards here that are pretty much confirmation of each, that someone here, or a few of you in the collective listening, are shedding the dead skin as a snake does, or that rebirth of your soul. You may be feeling exhausted and tired. You may not have really noticed the transformation of the rebirth of the soul, but you would have received like a drain, instant drain of some energy, and had to nap or get some rest, and then awaken with, maybe you just realize that, you know, something is off, something's not quite so important to me anymore. I'm not really focused on the drama or the gossip, or you're just going to notice little things at a time to realize you did have that rebirth. Okay, the Temperance here is keeping her foot in calm waters, balancing things out. This is in the mind space. This is what they want. This is what they're thinking about, is calmer waters. Things that are going to blossom, that sun on the other side of the horizon, greener pastures, and balance, equal give and take for the good of their highest self. They are now in their mind space thinking, I really need to surrender this devil energy. I really need to surrender these things that don't serve me, my old way of thinking. I need to surrender these things to the divine so that I can move forward. Because I want to be able to focus on that divine cup. I want to listen to the divine messages and hear my spirit guides speak. Right? If you're too caught up in overthinking, overanalyzing, self-medicating with medications or alcohol, or just trying to keep your mind preoccupied with other activities, more work, you're not going to get those aha moments. You're not going to receive the divine messages. While they're going to be coming in as downloads, you're not going to be able to unpack them or understand them. You're not going to know when you have relatives that are speaking to you in your dreams, because you'll be either too, passed out, intoxicated, or medicated, however you're trying to keep your mind preoccupied from receiving those notes, messages. Justice is here in their mind. They really want justice to come in. They want balance. They want to be able to understand what it is Spirit's trying to tell them. They want to understand the difference with the dark side, their shadow side, and their light side, and how to balance that as well within themselves. Here we have the Five of Cups. Yes, things have spilled, just as up here with the Eight of Cups. They realize that things have died off. Here there's a dead fish spilled out of this cup. Things are died off, and those are no longer serving you, no longer to be part of your they were no longer for your highest good. At once you may have thought that was the cup that you were supposed to have. Perhaps they were just a soulmate, a karmic, but you should have known something was fishy per se about it, because they weren't in their divine energy. So the divine has given you a divine cup to choose from, to nurture yourself, to nurture the divine counterpart. Okay, and in your mind space, you're thinking about those shadow aspects, the moon, the full moon. Perhaps you did manifest something in this past full moon, and both towers were there, but because of the manifestations, because you're trying to listen to, going within, healing, doing the work, then the towers have not crumbled as of yet, because you were doing the work, you were nurturing yourself. These towers are more stable. This crowd here is understanding that if you're not following the divine guidance, then they're going to go down the path right between you and get what was meant for you. Okay, this is in their heart space. In their heart space, they don't want to go within and look at it from a different perspective. Perhaps they're being a bit stubborn here, but this is a new cycle. They're thinking about that equal balance, equal give and take, that emotional start. But here it's not looking at it from another perspective. It's in reverse. It's a 3 card, by the way. All right, 9 of Cups. You may appear to have choices. This is an illusion. Spirit has given you, this always reminds me of Genie in the Bottle. It's an obvious choice, right? It's the Genie in the Bottle. Don't take the cup with the fish, take the Genie in the Bottle. This is in their heart space, knowing that they sense something special about that one cup, but this other cup just looks more enticing. It may be because it's in the front row, but they know that there's something special about that cup. Alright, and in the Four of Pentacles, they are focused more on stability, of building their pentacles, protecting what they've built in the past, listening to their higher intuition. And the Four of Sticks here reminds me of a stable home, kind of like the Four of Wands energy in the Tarot card. But so this is also a little bit more with the Four being a stable. They want stability, but they're building this, they're holding on to just the pentacles, not their home life. They are going to, in their heart, they want to be that Fool, the 0 card. They want to take that leap forward. They just want to pack a couple things and take off, looking up to the divine source, the Great Spirit, knowing that they will have their back. They will catch them, if, keep them from falling into the ethers, right, as they step off this cliff into Neverland. And this is in their heart space. In their heart space, they want to protect that divine connection. They want to do that. Protect the flame from the karmic, from the other third parties or side pieces, right? They don't want to have to make this more difficult, having to climb to the top of the mountain. They are putting down things that no longer serve them over here, but keeping the 2 swords, keeping the belief with them to protect that connection. Let's get you some clarification. On the bottom of the deck we have the Chariot, because the Chariot wants to move forward. And under that is the 10 of Pentacles, leaving behind the karmic, leaving behind that third party situation. Okay? So let's get some clarification. We know what the World card is for the ending in the new cycle. Let's clarify this 9 of Swords. Spirit, can you give us some clarification for the collective on coming at them with the 9 of Swords, please? Clarify the 9 of Swords, please. Clarify the, thank you. Clarify the 9 of Swords with 6 of Cups. equal give and take, balance, the Five of Cups. Five of Cups, knowing that we had the cups here and here, right? So we have still, knowing that she's lost some cups. We all have, right? Everybody's lost love, hopefully, at some point in their life, but better to have lost than to never had it at all. She knows that she still has these the cups over here, and she's self-loving, self-nurturing herself with this robe. Okay, she wants the equal give and take, the balance of these cups to be filled with more than just flowers. She wants them filled with love, unconditional love, acceptance. She wants the end of the three-party situations so that she can celebrate. And as a Page of Swords, she knows that she needs to just cut this out, walk away. If there isn't an end to the three-party situation, she knows she, as a High Priestess, she needs to do what's best for her highest good and cut that situation out and walk away. Clarify Eight of Cups, please. Clarify Eight of Cups. Clarify Eight of Cups for the question is coming at them. Okay, Eight of Cups, yes, definitely. Definitely. Beautiful. Beautiful energy. The Moon card coming out of the shadows, coming out of the dark energy, the things that don't serve them, the lies, the other people. Again, we have two towers here at risk of falling if they don't come out of their shadow side. If they don't cut out the three-party situation, Spirit's going to come in and give them the Tower moment. But here you have them coming up out of the shadow. Setting boundaries for herself, the Divine Feminine, or whoever woke first. Five of Swords, setting the boundaries, one sword for each corner and holding one ready to cut things out if needed, turning their back and sending out those other two parties out of the three-party situation, cutting it out, and enforcing the choice of two wands, the masculines, making that choice, taking and choosing which wand will be for his highest good, nurturing himself here, manifesting. Alright, let's get let's see what Temperance. In their mind space, this Temperance card is a 5. There are multiple 5s on this table, which is change from the divine moving things around to their highest good, which may or may not include Tower moments, but it's change nonetheless. Remember, things don't happen to you, they happen for you, for growth, for Swords, resting. Because you know Temperance is here to balance things out. And because they have that new cycle, that rebirth. Yes, the Seven of Cups regarding options. Judgment is here, surrendering those options. Third-party situations, fourth-party situations. Remember that doesn't always have to be a person. It could be a person, place, or thing. It could be a workplace. Eight of Cups, walking away from things that don't serve her. And Justice is here. Clarify Justice, please, in her mind space. Clarify Justice in her mind space. What is it they want justice in regarding this? Some of these probably have court cases, things they have to battle for, splitting of assets. Maybe that's what's in the mind space, is will they win or will they lose their court case? Right? But they are moving forward with the Knight of Pentacles, unbridled, not trying to control the situation, taking it as it goes, probably moving a little slow at this pace. But you see, this Knight is very young, very immature, or I would see, instead of immature, since it does look like he has a beard, it's more like lack of confidence or low confidence because of everything that they've gone through, as has the High Priestess. But there's no bridle here, so he's not trying to control the situation, because he did go within and surrender, putting an end to the stabbing in the back, putting an end to the pain and the sorrow. Clarify the Five of Cups, please. Thank you. Four of Pentacles, the illusion that Four of Pentacles was stable. Like here, it's an illusion that your 4 of Pentacles are going to give you a house and a home. It may be an equal number, but you see here the illusion is that 2 of these Pentacles are damaged, they're no good. Seeing at what you've lost. Ace of Wands stuck in the rock, between the hard place and a rock. She is just sitting there trying to figure out what she's doing. This truth, this is communication. It should be truth. It's stuck, though. This is communication that is stuck regarding the that moon energy. She is coming forward with this hangman, not wanting to see it in another perception, but coming, asking for forgiveness from the divine, the high priestess, asking for forgiveness from the divine great spirit as well, for the lies, for the shenanigans. All right, and these choices, the Nine of Cups, she's the Page of Cups, she's offering up her cup to the divine, so she can nurture herself with her cup. She's filled her cup with self-love and unconditional love for self and others. She has the rainbow here and the promise of abundance with this divine connection. The masculine or counterpart is the Knight of Cups, moving in, again, not necessarily trying to control the situation. There is no bridle on this horse either, but it's kind of, he's very relaxed about it, taking a sweet time. The horse is actually just standing still, not really in motion. And the cup is kind of tipped to the side like he's not afraid to spill some out. Maybe he's just got that so much. More than enough unconditional love. He's not worried about spilling some. Okay, Spirit, 4 of Pentacles. What's in your heart space regarding the 4 of Pentacles? Having stability, having the things to be able to have something to offer. Turning their back on the being locked out, being blocked, wanting to move forward with the other wand. Yeah, making those choices, cutting things out. Took the 2 swords and made the choice. 7 of Pentacles, moving towards the divine because she is abundant. Justice is here to make sure that that Ace of Wands, the new beginning with Pentacles, is here. Taking the leap of faith in their heart space. After they sought to make it go from the heart space to the action. This is heart space, what they want, what they feel. This is their emotions, what they're thinking about. Doesn't mean it's necessarily action yet, but taking that leap forward. Why? Because of the 3 of Swords, heartbreak, but it was in reverse, so putting an end to that heartbreak, putting an end to the 3-party situations of heartache regarding that 3-party situation. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune does want to turn forward. He's taken that leap of faith forward to the divine, starting over, and the Wheel of Fortune is here wanting to turn those things forward. Because he is here in the 5 of Swords, another 5. There's 4 5s, I believe, on the table at this time. 5, 5, 5, 5. Again, that's divine change, divine moving things around in their life to make the action or the change for their highest good. King of Wands. They also have the Lion and Lioness here, which is a prowess, a cat energy, prowess, protective, but very intuitive, very psychic energy as well, which would allow them to protect, because that's the protection here, and he's protecting there. So he's very much in a protection mode, perhaps being overwhelmed with this new beginning. 4 of Cups, back to the beginning of choices, still trying to decide. All these other choices were cut away. Now kind of, this almost makes me look like they're trying to pout. When you see her, it looks like someone trying to pout. Because they lost, they can't have 4 people in their life anymore. They can only have 1 divine. They want the divine counterpart. They don't get these parties. Because she's she knows her worth. She's not settling for low vibrational energy. He either comes to her right or don't come at all, putting an end to that not sleepless nights. With for the Empress is all 4 queens in one. She is the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Rods, and the Queen of Pentacles. She births a new beginning. She births new businesses, and in some cases, this could be a pregnancy. Anything else for this? Anything else for this reading? Is anything else for this reading? Okay. Yeah, you got 10 of Pentacles. Turning back to the karmic. Communicating to the divine. Temperance is here to balance out those emotions and put an end to the fighting, the bickering, the gossip. Because the 9 of Cups is here, and all they need left is that one divine cup. But the counterpart is aware that she is the star, that she's the light that guides him to calm waters in this transformation. And you see a butterfly as well there. The star is also Aquarius, air energy. Okay. Anything else regarding this connection? One or two of these. And this is that new deck, the shaman deck. So it's breaking again. It was charged in the full moon and then in the full moon, but they're very complex pictures. This is was in reverse. It's the Hangman in reverse. And then this one is the King of Swords. Initiation. So this one is the initiation card to this card. I call it the Hangman because there's someone hanging. But it's the initiation, the sacrifice of a part of oneself in favor of the world of spirits, necessary moments of pause, reflection, a new vision of the things ahead. But it's a sacrifice of one part of oneself, which is the transformation that took, right, the rebirth of your soul, the ending and new beginning. So you can see that this is a very, hopefully the glare there. It's like watercolor, so it's kind of hard, but there's a guy in the background on the tree hanging, and then they're sitting by a campfire because they sacrificed him. Alright, and then this one is so King of Air, King of Bows is what it's really called. And the bow and arrow. Okay, so spirit that guides the clouds, a man of intellect with controlled emotions, mental openness, rationality, a calculating mind, laws, and authority. This has Virgo or Earth signs written all over it. Okay, you can see the, I wrote on the cards to remind me of the energy in them, but the King of Bows, and its meaning is totally different than, of course, the King of Swords in the traditional tarot, which is why I read the card to begin with. Alright, so get you some guidance. Sarah, what advice would you like to give the collective? Actually, only 34 minutes. This has gone short compared to the other readings. Okay, so birthing a new age, and again, the rebirth, right? Bring new creation, dream a new world into being. And it's got the circle of life that you stand in, and pillar of light, like the star card. Pillar of light, your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. That's because the star card is the light that brings the divine together. Alright, so that's what I have for you. I'm going to be doing the career and finance next, so hop over to the other video after this, and I hope you have a blessed day.